Hey there, Gemini. This is going to be your week ahead reading from whenever you see this video. As always, take what resonates and leave what does not. Let's see what is coming for you in the week ahead, Gemini. Page of Wands in reverse. Okay. There's some communication coming in for you. There's your card. The Lovers. Swords in reverse. Three of Wands. Something that you've been trying to do here is taking off this week. Yeah, something in work. The Empress, the past, the Moon in the future. There's some kind of announcement, there's some form of communication, or there's some form of instability that you are experiencing as a significator for this week. Now, this can be you wanting to communicate something to someone else, or this could be someone trying to make up their mind as to whether or not to communicate something with you. Either way, communication is going to be a significant thing happening for you this week, okay? The Three of Wands coming out in your subconscious energy, I feel like you've been waiting for something. I feel like there's something here that you've been waiting to hear back from, or you are kind of waiting to see the results of. And it turns out to be something that is victorious for you. After that victory, though, I don't really see you having a whole lot of understanding or a whole lot of knowledge as to where you want things to go. It feels like there is some kind of creative energy here in the past. It feels like you've been laboring for something, like you've been putting a lot of action into something that you weren't necessarily sure, or you aren't necessarily sure is going to pay off for you, but it looks like it does over the next week. You're coming through as the Queen of Cups, the Star in your surroundings, Temperance in hopes and fears, and the King of Wands in the outcome. We're gonna need to get more on that King of Wands, but you're coming through as very, very much following your dreams, following your hopes, following your fantasies, following your ideals, living your beliefs, practicing what you preach, and acting through that. You're coming through as having a lot of integrity this week. Your sister sign Sagittarius is out here in your hopes and fears. So there's an energy here also of you understanding what it means to follow the middle path, understanding what it means for you to stay in balance. It feels like it's really coloring the emotional landscape of the reading here. So maybe you were struggling with what you believed in. For example, with that Page of Wands coming out in reverse, you were having trouble deciding what it was that you wanted to do, how you wanted things to progress. You really weren't clear, but I see you taking initiative this week, making a decision and saying, this is the direction I want to go in. This is what I want to do. So let's see how that plays out for you. Seeing the Three of Pentacles, like I said, in the bottom of the deck energy, this definitely does feel like a work scenario here, Gemini. All right, King of Wands coming out. Let's see how this progresses for you. I'm seeing the Ace of Cups. You're following your heart, you're following your dreams, you're following what you love. It also kind of feels like you're looking at it with a little bit of doubt or fear. But I don't necessarily feel like those doubts and fears are unfounded. I feel like they help you to look more realistically at the situation at hand. Six of Wands, covering the King of Wands. The Ten of Wands. All right, so there's something here. You could be in the public eye. You could be in some kind of leadership position. You're taking on a lot of responsibility. You are carrying a lot of weight with this. You're putting in a lot of effort towards something here that is requiring you to step up to some kind of leadership or be in some kind of position where you are in a high visibility or high status role. You may be tempted to hide away from this. Don't do that. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. You're thinking a little bit negatively about your own style of work, or you're thinking negatively about the way that you're doing something here. You're being hypercritical of yourself. Like I said, it feels almost like with that that doubt energy that I was picking up on before, with that Nine of Swords in reverse that I saw when I was shuffling. It almost feels like you can use that to your advantage. It's like you can use that energy of being very critical with yourself to perfect some kind of craft that you have here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're supposed to integrate that while you're doing the work. I feel like this is something that you can use to kind of analyze your progress after the fact, after you've already done something here. I feel like, in the military, there's something called a sit rep report, like a situation report. Basically gives you like the rundown of the situation. And there's another thing that they do. I don't remember what it's called exactly, but it's like after something is done, like they go back and they examine like what they could have done better, what they did well, things like that, right? You might want to consider doing that. What did you do well? What do you want to sustain? What do you want to keep about what you've done? And where do you feel like you need to improve, right? In the past, we have the High Priestess in reverse. In the future, we have Temperance again. All right, so I do see you kind of coming back into alignment with your inner voice in the future. I see this as taking a lot of effort. I see this as taking it's causing a lot of strain maybe. But I find you in the middle path. I find you in this sense of combining parts of yourself or integrating parts of yourself that need to be understood. Integrating opposites, what you would consider to be opposites of yourself, into a more holistic picture for yourself here, Gemini. I also kind of feel like, relying too heavily on this Queen of Swords energy and ignoring your intuition is going to lead you to mediocrity. So definitely going to be important for you to lean a little bit more into your feelings this week, as opposed to existing primarily within your thoughts. What is your gut telling you? These are the two opposite energies that I feel you're working with this week. Learning to trust your inner voice versus your logical mind and your communication. Connectivity doesn't really seem to be an issue for you this week, except for maybe connectivity with yourself. Yeah, you're coming through as the King of Pentacles in reverse. So you could be looking at things from a very superficial or very materialistic way this week. Once again, the star coming out in your environment. There is a lot of divine support, it feels like, that is coming in for you this week in your environment. I feel like you're getting a lot of recognition. I feel like you're getting a lot of influence, right? I feel like people are kind of looking to you as a star, and you're kind of looking at yourself like on the surface. I don't really feel like you're acknowledging what other people are seeing within you here. With that High Priestess in reverse, it's like you're only seeing yourself from a very surface level. Or you're only seeing a situation from a very surface level here. In your environment, or excuse me, your hopes and fears, we have the Fool in reverse. Right. What are you ignoring, is my question. In the outcome, we have Judgment in reverse. There's a lot of fear that I'm picking up on here. Fear of being judged by other people, maybe, which causes you to ignore your inner voice, causes you to not pay attention to the more honest parts of you. Feeling like you have to mask for other people who maybe are idealizing you. That could be causing kind of a strain between what you know you're capable of and how other people see you, for example. There's a theme here around authenticity that I'm picking up on. Let's get the quintessence of this. I do want to get judgment, but first let's get the quintessence because I feel like there's something else here. We have the 6 of Wands covered by the 10 of Wands. That's going to be 16 plus 3 is 19. 19 plus 2 is 21. 21 plus 14 is 35. 35 plus 17 is 52. Yeah. 52 plus 20 is 72. 7 plus 2 is 9. That's going to be the Hermit. So this is going to be about you going within, Gemini, this week. This is going to be about you not being influenced by the opinions of other people around you, not being influenced by what other people are thinking of you this week, okay? That's going to get you through the week, all right? Make sure that you are not being influenced by anybody else's opinions of you, okay? And if need be, make yourself a little bit more private, you know? You don't necessarily have to exist for other people. Like, put on this show, be very deceptive with how comfortable you are in the spotlight because other people feel like you should be. You know, it's not necessarily even about that. Live in your authenticity. Sure, you can maintain appearances, but only up to a certain extent. Let's get judgment, and then we will close out with an oracle card for you, Gemini. Clarify judgment for me, please, Spirit. There are certain actions, that you seem to be refraining from taking because you're worried about the judgment of other people. Anything else? Clarifying judgment, please. Yeah, there's kind of like this irregular energy here, hiding away, being very shy because you're afraid of other people's judgments. Queen of Pentacles coming out, feeling secure in the challenge position. Who do you feel safe with, Gemini? Who do you know you're safe with? Four of Pentacles in reverse. The Hermit, there it is. The number 9 coming out here as well. Past energy. Future energy. You are sitting back and observing. You are judging other people. You are, I feel like you've learned some kind of lesson here where maybe you've learned not to get too involved, not to get too directly involved with the situation here. You're in your comfort zone. Spirit is asking you to try something new. Coming through is the 8 of, yeah, literally, try something new. 8 of Wands coming out here. Do something new. Do something a little bit differently. You're being asked to move ahead, quickly, to undertake action. The Fool in reverse in your surroundings. It kind of feels like your leadership or your guidance or your discernment is needed in a situation, in your environment, or somebody in your environment doesn't know what they're doing and they need help. It almost feels like you are the only one who's capable of like stepping in and changing something for someone here this week. 3 of Wands. Yeah. You need to act in alignment here with your destiny, essentially. All right. The quintessence of this one is going to be judgment. 20 plus 4 plus 9, 33. plus 6, 39, plus 8, 47, plus 8, 55, plus 3, 58, plus 10, 68. 6 plus 8 is 14. Once again, we have art or temperance coming out here. Let's read about it. Temperance / the Hierophant. Seek the proper mixture. Despite all the tensions, attempt to connect opposites with each other. Go into the depths, and then you will understand the meaning of the whole. I'm seeing you taking the action that you wouldn't normally take this week. I'm seeing you trying something new, trying something different. And understanding yourself a little bit better by doing that. Wheel of Fortune coming out here as the outcome. By trying something new, you're in alignment with what the divine has in store for you or your plan here. Anything else coming through for Gemini, please? Bashfulness, the opossum and peony. There it is. There's that bashful energy, that fear I'm picking up on doing something that is in alignment with what you know to be true for yourself. Let's read about bashfulness. The number 38. Is that 38? No, excuse me, 28. You may wish to hide away from the world. While periods of solitude are necessary and healthful, be sure your retreat isn't driven by fear. Anything else coming through for Gemini, please, Spirit? Triumph. In reverse. Challenges that can lead to growth, focusing on small, unimportant issues, feeling overwhelmed or stressed, and ignoring responsibilities. The affirmation is, what is meant for me will find its way to me. You need to take action this week. If you want to see a certain result, you need to be the one to initiate. Okay, Gemini, that is what is coming through. If you would like to book me for a personal reading, the link to do so is in my bio. Thank you so much for watching. Or excuse me, the link to do so is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, Gemini, and take care.